Hello, historical leaders. So today for social studies, we're going to do day 2 of our research, but I wanted to explain it a little bit because it's different than day 1. So day 1 was all facts. It was you go find the fact, the day they were born, if they were married, whatever. But day 2 is a lot more of like using your brain. So what is your person most known for? Why are they famous? PebbleGo is not going to come out and say George Washington is famous because he was our first president, right? You have to really think about it. It will tell you that George Washington is our first president, and that probably made him famous, right? So that's what you would write. Write about 3 ways your person impacted their community. So what did, like, for example, George Washington, what did he do for us as president? What do you think? How did he change what it means to impact their community? How did they change their community? What did they do that impacted others, that helped others? Why were they such a good leader? Then it says, find a famous or inspiring quote that your person said. So I know that we have talked a lot about paraphrasing, and you should be doing that in all parts of your research except for this question. This question, you're going to find a direct quote. You're going to copy exactly what they said, and you're going to use these little quotation marks. So you'll find something that your person said, and you'll write it exactly as they said it. This is the only part that you can copy. And you can only copy it if you use these quotation marks. All right, next. How was your person a leader? Write about at least 2 specific habits that your leader used. You have extra room on the back to write. And if you need extra room, there's more space on the bottom. There's more space down here. So they didn't have the 7 habits back in the day, right? So PebbleGo is not going to come out and say, George Washington used habit 6, synergize. You have to infer that. You have to decide, what did George Washington do? Did he work a lot with other people? Who did he work with? Well, then, yeah, maybe he did use synergizing. I'll include my example on here to show you a little bit more too. But it says this should be at least 4 sentences long. On your rubric, this is a whole part of your rubric. So you need to make sure that you do a great job on this question to get full points. And then the last one says, what would be different about our world if your leader did not exist? So, like if George Washington wasn't our first president, would we even have presidents? I don't know. Maybe someone else would have been our president and our world would have been so much different. So what would be different about our world if your leader did not exist? Make sure you write in full sentences again and that you use a lot of detail. And while these answers are coming from our brain, we do have to have some sort of reason to think this, right? So it can't just be, if George Washington wasn't our first president, I think we would be living on Mars, right? That makes no sense. You have to have some sort of proof. So if George Washington wasn't our first president, maybe we wouldn't have presidents. Because if he didn't start that, maybe no one would. So there is your assignment today. Also, please do not forget, when you get information from places, you have to fill this out. So, like if you watch a Brain Pop, you will write Brain Pop. If the Brain Pop is called George Washington, you write George Washington. And then you write, is it an article, book, video, or image? Brain Pop is video. You should fill this out from every place that you get information. So Brain Pop, maybe PebbleGo, maybe FactSite, stuff like that, okay? All right. Have a good time researching today, 3rd grade.